In this video, I am going to share with you my secret to how I have increased and improved my telephone skills over the years. I am going to give you the actual template of what I have had glued to my desk for the last 6 years. I will also share with you a training method that I think is the best telephone training method that you can try and apply immediately. And if you find any value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and even subscribe. I just want to help you make as much money as I possibly can. Hello and welcome back. My name is Sham. Thank you for watching this video. One of the first things I experienced when I started this job was how much I needed to use the telephone. I didn't realize it was such a telephone-based job. I always remember one of my first sales managers telling me, if you can become great on the phone, you will be a high-performing salesperson. And I always really worked hard in order to be good on the phones, especially at the early part of my career. That's all I focused on, and it really did make all the difference. Let me take you to the whiteboard where I'm going to go through some examples and my top tips. Click the link in the description below if you want that free template. One of the easiest ways to get ahead of people is to do the things that people aren't willing to do. And to make loads and loads of phone calls is something, for some reason, nobody has ever been a fan of. And I'm not going to stand here saying that I love getting on the phones and making hundreds and hundreds of phone calls each week. But knowing that that is ultimately going to get me more deals than anybody else and also make me more money than anyone else is something that you've got to remember. A valuable thing to know when you're trying to achieve goals is to understand what can stop you and why. That way you can tackle it head on and consciously understand what actions you need to take in order to make your goals become reality. Something that changed my life from a book called Limitless by Jim Kwik. We have very busy lives. And not only do we have busy lives, we actually spend a lot of time on our phones these days. And something that has stuck with me since I read the book many years ago was the digital dementia side of social media. For example, my girlfriend will message me saying, "Have you seen the Insta story I've just posted about the kids?" And I'll think, no, I haven't had a chance to look. I'll go onto Instagram, I will go to search her name, and then, as you know, all the millions of things that the algorithm is trying to get you to look at pops up. So in my case, you have guys lifting weights, you've got loads of different comedy sketches of comedians saying jokes, and also motivational videos. So next thing, I've clicked on one of them, saw somebody lifting some stupid weights, and I thought, right, I want to watch that video. Next thing then, a motivational video comes up and I end up watching that. All of a sudden, I'm stood there thinking, why did I actually go on Instagram? And then I'll remember it was to see a video of my child on my girlfriend's Insta story. But what is really scary is we go onto these phones and the amount of time some people spend on these phones. Digital dementia is a real thing. You remember memes and stupid videos that you see at the end of the day more than the things that you are actually meant to remember. If anybody has done what I have just mentioned, please drop a like on this video, just so I know I'm not alone. When you're making a telephone call and the first thing you say is, "Hi, it's so-and-so from so-and-so place," sadly, there is no chance they are going to remember your name. You've only got seconds in order to get the person's attention of who you're calling. I'm going to give you my first tip of actually keeping someone on the phone for longer than 10 seconds. So when I make my call, I take my time, I think of the person's name, I think of where they're calling from. If I haven't got their address, that's absolutely fine as well. But let's say you're sitting down, I still say with the most enthusiastic way I can. You have to remember this is an important moment for you and them. This is your first ever contact. A lot of people do not think of the preparation behind this before they make a call, and they just make the calls as if they're not that important. So let's take a step back, make sure you have the right mindset in place. I always start by saying, hi, is that so-and-so? I'll use their first name if I have it, surname for definite if I don't have their first name, obviously Mr. or Mrs. And then I will say where I'm calling from. And the first thing I will do, I will change my tone to a confused tone. And I will ask, I'm just calling because I've got here that you've shown interest in holiday home ownership, but I just want to clarify whether that's ownership or whether it was just for a holiday. We have a lot of holiday inquiries come through as ownership. That straight away takes the tension down. The amount of times people have said, oh, it was just for a holiday, well, that's absolutely fine. I can reduce the time of this call and say, okay, fine, let me help you, and either give them the telephone number for our holiday department, or obviously I just, sort of help with what I can over the phone regardless. But the amount of times they say, oh, it was for ownership, I then change my tonality again. And I say, brilliant. Can I ask some questions about that to help? And I then go into the template that I'm going to send you, which has 21 questions on it. I don't expect you to ask 21 questions, but you ask the best ones most relevant to them. And what I will always say is the more curious you can be and the more genuinely interested you can be in them, you will always have better, longer telephone calls. And my top tip in the training that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, please try this. Call another caravan park, call another lodge park, make that mystery shop call, see how much they ask you about how long you've been thinking about this, where does the interest come from, who is it for, see how good that call is. That is the best training that you can do. And especially if it's a local competitor, you can actually see how good your competition is. With making the first contact, it's about being enthusiastic, have that confused, curious tone, be genuinely interested, ask the right questions. And my third thing is follow up what you said you were going to do. So when the conversation comes to an end, tell them that you're going to send them an email, tell them that you're going to send them a brochure, tell them that you're going to do whatever that next step is. Do it, send the email or put the brochure in the post, whatever it was, but then call them back. This has genuinely won me business over other parks. Call them back, tell them that you've put the brochure in the post, send them the email, call them back to say, I've sent you the email. It might have dropped into your junk inbox because I've never emailed you before. You need to show them that you have done what you said you would. That builds so much more credibility and trust before you've met them. And I have had people genuinely tell me when they physically met me that they inquired somewhere else as well, but they didn't either send them a brochure or send them the email that they promised that they would, and they just didn't chase it up or follow up. It's genuinely just great customer service. So to have that feeling before they even walk through the door, you're really making it a lot easier for yourself. I really hope this helps you alone, but obviously when you get the template from me about the questions, I hope that it helps you even more. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you in the next one.